and welcome to Health Live at Seniors Today. Welcome again. Welcome back to Health Live at Seniors Today. Let me just take a minute to introduce Dr. Sheetal Goyal. Dr. Goyal is a well-known senior consultant neurologist in Mumbai. She has done her MBBS and MD internal medicine from the Guwahati Medical College and DM Neurology and PDF in cognitive neurosciences from Nimans in Bengaluru. She has to her credit both in national and international publications. She has also obtained separate training in the treatment of various memory and movement disorders, skills of deep brain stimulation and botulinum toxins. She has done many certification courses and she is trained in Botox injections given for writer cramps, cervical dystonia,
yes.
Reprospasm. She's an ex-consultant in Nemke Specialty Hospital in Guwahati, the Apollo Clinic, also in Guwahati, and she's currently working at the Wokhart Hospital in Mumbai Central in Mumbai. So welcome again to Health Live at Seniors Today, Dr. Sheetal Goyal. You know, the topic that we have requested her to speak about is dealing with stress the holistic way from the neurologist's point of view. You know, this is July 22nd was the World Brain Day, and this is being observed as the Brain Awareness Month, and which is why we had a session on headaches last week. We have a session by Dr. Sheetal Goyal this week, and we have another neurologist next week. But of course, that is on Living Will. Over to you, Dr. Goyal. Would you like to say a few words, and then shall we go to questions directly?
Yeah, actually, before starting, as Mr. Pradyuman, he just called me and he told that, why don't you speak on stress? And I immediately caught hold of that topic. I said, yeah, definitely. I speak a lot on neurology, but I tell you, when I sit in the OPD and I see the problem, I tell you the problem is only 20%. But when my patient comes, I realize that the 80% of the problem, rest 80% of the problem is because of the stress that they take in their day-to-day activity. Like, for example, I'll give you, like, if one of my patient has got headache, which is mild, but the problem is that she's so worried about that headache and she just think about that headache continuously that it has affected her working capacity. When I told that with your headache, can you continue with your work? She says, yes. But why this headache is coming in why is it there? So this why increases the health anxiety and it contributes to the 80% of the affection in their daily activity. So when Mr. Pradyuman told me that why don't you speak on stress and neurological disorder, I felt like it's a very important topic. We should discuss. And as he has chosen me to discuss, I'm like thankful. And I think we can go with the question so that you are more clear about how stress is affecting our daily work, even from neurology perspective. I'll tell you what happens with the mind game is that when the patient comes with stroke, the entire society knows that this patient has got stroke because his walking style changes, his way of look changes, and there are many more things changes. But when a person is paralyzed with the mind, no one notices. And I tell you, that is the big pandemic that is going on in the society. I get many youngsters, young boys, equally girls. I used to have a presumption when I was an MD medicine doctor that maximum of the stress comes with the female. But then when I started practicing as a neurologist, I realized that this amount of stress is equal to the young boys in today's generation. So what happens is that why it is increasing day to day is that when it is in the mild form, no one recognizes it. You forget about no one. I tell you, the parents also don't even notice it. So when they come and they tell me about the problem, and I quietly tell them that, see, maximum problem with your son is due to stress, they completely deny the fact. They tell me that, no, madam, it's not the fact. He's a very bold person. I know my son. So sometimes, we have to be very broad-minded. We have to stop thinking stress as a pandemic. We don't have to be ashamed of understanding that, yes, I might be on stress, and then only we as a doctor can find a solution for all of you.
So we have received quite a few questions. Some of them questions are here also. Um,
Tell me.
so one of the questions that we've received is, I'm 67. I'm a retired scientist. I often find myself lying awake at night, worrying about my health and my children. Is there something I can train my brain to do to stop these thoughts from taking over?
So whole night he keeps thinking about the issue, right? Yeah, now you will find it crazy as a part of neurologist when I tell you. So whenever I see that in my OPD consultation, I find there is a part of stress. Even and really, that's the fact that they whole night they're thinking continuously on the same thing that happened whole day. So what I teach them is that whenever you go to bed, I teach them sleep hygiene. Now, what is sleep hygiene? It is a very important part which if not practiced, you will not be able to go to sleep. Now, let me give some tips about sleep hygiene. In sleep hygiene, I always emphasize on my patient that whichever bed you use to sleep, please do not use that bed to eat or to drink or anything. Your office work should not be used in that bed. Second, whenever you go to bed, always clean the bed sheet. Always make it neat and clean and give a good vibes that yes, you are going to sleep. Always I tell them that please do not use mobile while lying down, because the screen time and the screen it activates the wake up center. So the time where you were supposed to sleep, your wake up center is getting activated. As a result, many patients comes to me telling that it takes me 3-4 hours to sleep. I see mobile for some time and then I close it, but still I could not go to sleep.
All right.
For last, which I always tell them is that always pray, always be thankful. Always be thankful, grateful for whatever you have. You have a bed to sleep, you have a home to stay, you have done great today. You carefully note down what are the positive things you did, who many good people you met, and always give a grateful prayer to the God and sleep. Sometimes when my patients are very questioning like why it is so, why it is so, I especially focus on the use of Hoponopono. So Hoponopono is a very nice prayer, very simple prayer where they say, thank you, I forgive you, I love you. And it's a very nice prayer, comes in multiple different languages. So you have to tell your brain that you need to shut down now, number one. So this is a way we can do. Second is that many a time what happened after retirement, like you said, this scientist is quite around his 70s. What they do is that whole day, because of the retirement, they have nothing to do. I don't say nothing to do, but they don't use the brain to that extent that when they are going to sleep, their brain should get tired. Whole day, you didn't use your brain. You were just like, you just watched some TV, you didn't do much. And then you expect that your brain get tired and you go to sleep is again a wrong idea. So I always say, even nowadays, to all the retired persons, I say, go and join some social service. They might find me mean that this lady is making me work at this age also. But I'm telling you, it is good for them. They should join some regular activity. They should have their daily activity. And they should say, yes, now I am done with today's work and it's my time to sleep. So brain gets some signal that, yes, we have to stop working. If you don't, yeah, please.
Right. Oh, absolutely. We have a question now from Anupama Singh, who's asked about sometimes we feel lonely even when surrounded by people. And this is an issue which concerns, I think, most senior citizens, especially those who are not engaged in a business or who are not engaged in an activity like what you said. How do you really combat loneliness, and how do you combat stress because of loneliness?
See, I tell you, loneliness is itself a disease. It might be a matter of debate if I tell like that. I give you an example. When there was COVID, all the kitty party of these retired people stopped. So what we did, I was there in Bangalore. and we were conducting one research. And then we called every of our dementia, mild memory problem patients, and we tried to find out how are they doing right now during pandemic. And to our surprise, we found everyone deteriorated invariably. We got it published also, and I also presented a poster in an international platform about it. The only difference that pandemic brought for those people were that they stopped getting socialized. They were asked to be homebound. So when you are lonely, it is very natural that you will get prone into stress. The result, the why there is a reason, because you have no one to express yourself. You have nothing. So whatever, even you see, you are happy. It's not about sadness. It's about happiness also, that you want to express near someone and you have no one. So, and sometimes, and again, there is a trick on this. So many of their elderly, these patients were there with their sons, son and daughter, or son and daughter-in-law. But still they deteriorated. Why? Because they want a mind-alike people, which they will get with their kitty party group only. So loneliness will definitely increase the stress. Now, so many of them say that we are retired, we stay in home, so we get lonely. I always tell them, get out of your house. There are so many society work where there is no one who can help the society. Now, when you don't have the burden of taking care of your family, you are not the sole bread owner, please get out of your house and be useful to the society. It is not that I want you to work, but indirectly, you will be helped because your brain will start working, you will get socialized, your memory will stop deteriorating, and you will be in a better space in the mind.
Right. Thank you. While this session is for senior citizens, but since all our attendees here are seniors, most of them are seniors, and they have children and grandchildren, and this problem is concerning them. And we have three questions: one from Sunita Verma, the other from Anil Singh. There's a question from Shobha. This is about youngsters, about students, and about people at the workplace. Any recommendation that you would make to our senior citizens on what they should advise their children and grandchildren on dealing with stress, which are exam related, which are at workplace related. How do you cope with that?
Yes. See, I can understand why this question has been put forward. Because in my OPD, like today, I tell you, I did in OPD in around 30, and so many young people had stepped into my room being so fragile, emotionally so fragile. Now, I sometimes, when I explain them, I feel like I'm some old generation. But the problem is that this generation that I'm facing right now in my OPD, what I feel is that, no, they consider every small thing as a stress. So the parameter of stress, when I say I am stressed out, I tell you, I came running like you can't even imagine how I have come running to attend this session. Now, but if you see me, I'm very calm and composed. So, stress is like the capacity of attending their stress has come down a lot. I sometimes, when I hear these patients, sometimes I feel if I tell them to walk from one room or the other, they will say, Madam, I'm very stressed out because I walk from one room or the other. Sometimes I feel their capacity of handling stress has come down so low. Now, we want a solution for that. The problem is that nowadays it has been such a guarded environment. Sometimes, see, I'm sorry to say, but many a time I have found that it is the over guarded parents. The parents are so guarded that they don't let the child go to outside world. Now, being a medical student, I give you my example. Being a girl, I have always been out of my home. My consultant have even thrown application on my face and said, get out of the room. So, being a doctor, we have faced all kind of criticisms. We have heard from the patients so many things. But then, that has actually trained my brain to adapt to the worst. If you don't let your child encounter the worst situation on their own, they won't be able to cope up when you are not there. So what it is should be like a brain gym training, like you know how to make a six pack because you train your body to pick up. A pahalwan will pick up 20 kg at a time because they are trained by their body. Similarly, we have to understand it's a need of the time that we need to have our mental gym. How to get that mental gym? Please understand it's very important in today's generation that you let your children start yoga and meditation at a very early stage. Because once their mind become conflicting with you, they will never hear you. So I have seen, like, because I am a Raj Yoga trainer from last 20 years, so I have seen kids coming in my ashram who are meditating from young age. They cannot meditate from very young, but they are doing relaxation, they are coming with their parents, so they are so inclined to meditation. So I think meditation is a mental gym. It is the gym of your brain. So start meditation and teach them positive aspect. For example, what happened is that now I give you example all with my OPDs. Suppose something happened to a kid, but when their parents enter, kid is quietly sitting in the chair, but the mother is howling in the room. My kid had this, my kid had this. Now I always tell the parents, please don't tell this near your child. Your child will understand it as a very big thing. You tell that's okay. It happens to many, it happened to you, we will face together. So the way of parenting if get changed, see, you can't always blame your kid for everything. It is a holistic approach. It should be a family approach, it should be society approach, it should be the entire environmental approach. So I think as a parents, you can do this. You can always stand by their side and say, that's okay. It can happen. I'm there with you. Don't worry. Instead of being equally stressed out with the child.
Right. Thank you. Doctor, we have a question which is coming. Is stress hereditary? Both my parents were bank officers and had a very stressful life. I'm 63 and I'm worried that as I get older, I will also be very stressed and a burden on my children. Is stress hereditary?
No. See, stress is not hereditary, but stress is environmental. If I see, when you are a kid, for you, your hero is your parents. So you grow up seeing your parents. How my parents is coping up. I tell you, children, if you say children don't eat something and you are eating, that child will eat that thing which you have told not to eat. So you have to understand the stress factor starts from much before than you can even imagine. So when you learn how to cope, I tell you, on like you have to always look into yourself, then to your child, and then to your society. You have to look yourself and say, how did I face it? Now if your child sees, oh, my father is in something really too much happened, but you see, my father is so calm and composed, and the way he is tackling thing is in such a beautiful way. I tell you, that child, without you doing anything for that child, when that child will grow up, that child will equally grow much stronger. And he will give an example. See, my father didn't take stress. Why should I take a stress?
Right. Doctor, we have a question from Meena Goyal, and this is in Hindi. मैं 68 साल की हूँ. मुझे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस होने से रीढ़ की हड्डी में बहुत तेज दर्द होता है. कृपया बताएं क्या क्यों होता है? Why does this happen?
Yes. Now I tell you, मैं हिंदी में ही बोलती हूँ. देखिए क्या होता है ना, जब भी आप स्ट्रेस लेते हो ना, आप तो आपके शरीर में जो पूरे केमिकल चेंजेस आते हैं, एक बोलते हैं स्ट्रेस हार्मोन्स रिलीज होती है और एड्रेनलिन रश होता है. फाइट एंड फ्लाइट मोड में आप आते हो, जिससे क्या होता है कि हमारी बॉडी स्पाज्म में चली जाती है. अननोइंगली इंफ्लेमेटरी रेस्पॉन्स इंक्रीज हो जाता है. मैं आपको बताती हूँ, अगर मेरे पास कोई ऐसी पेशेंट आते हैं जो इन्फ्लामेशन लेके आए, मैं हमेशा उनको बोलती हूँ, आप शांत रहो, आप माइंड को रिलैक्स रखो, क्योंकि मैं कहीं ना कहीं साइकोलॉजिकली भी उस इन्फ्लामेशन को कमाना चाहती हूँ. तो क्या होता है कि आपका ऑलरेडी सर्वाइकल या कमर के दर्द डिस्क में प्रॉब्लम रहेगी. जब आप काफी स्ट्रेस्ड आउट होते हो ना, तो मसल स्पाज्म के वजह से वो ज्यादा स्पाज्म में चला जाता है और आपको दर्द हो जाता है। बेसिकली अगर आपको मैं देख, कई बार आप देखना जब बहुत ज्यादा लोग स्ट्रेस्ड आउट होते हैं ऑफिस सब में, आप देखना कई बार वो लोग ऐसे ऐसे करते रहते हैं, ऐसे ऐसे करते रहते हैं। दिस इज ऑल बिकॉज ये मसल सारे स्पाज्म में जाने लग जाते हैं। सो दैट टाइम आई ऑलवेज वांट कि आप शांत हो। बहुत सारे ऑनलाइन बहुत अच्छे गाइडेड रिलैक्सेशन होते हैं, मैं तो प्रॉपर अपने प्रिस्क्रिप्शन में लिखती हूँ। दो आई एम अ न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट, आई ऑलवेज राइट प्रैक्टिस गाइडेड रिलैक्सेशन। थोड़ी देर अपने आप को रोको, जो भी काम आप कर रहे हो आप गाइडेड रिलैक्सेशन करो, आप देखो ये सब सब आपकी एकदम काम डाउन कर जाएगी।
Doctor, the topic is stress, and I'm going to restrict the questions to stress, but there's a question which is in a way linked. This is by Katie Dadanchi. Doctor, since I get up 2 or 3 times every night to use the washroom, my sleep is disturbed and I don't feel refreshed in the morning. And I'm sure it also causes some stress. What should she be doing?
यस, अभी क्या होता है कि देखो, इसमें भी ये जो स्लीप हाइजीन मैंने बताई थी ना।
Can you speak in English? Because I
Yes.
think people,
Sorry.
sorry.
I just recently talked about sleep hygiene in my first interaction. So in that sleep hygiene, one more important parameter that I ask the people to follow, especially the elderly, is that whenever you go to sleep, stop taking, stop drinking water 2 hours before you go to sleep. Stop drinking water or liquid diet 2 hours before you go to sleep. And before you go to bed, always go to washroom so that your bladder is in the best place for sleep. After this also, if you are saying, so this is known as bladder hygiene, you can say that. But still, if you are saying that no, my sleep is, I am still getting up, I'm still going to toilet, then you have some issue, pathological. Then you have to do sonography and check for prostate. If you have diabetes, please check for sugar. If you don't have both of them, please check for urine infection, because it's not normal that you get up at night and go 3 times or there is some prolapse. So you have to address it medically. If after doing this issue, this parameters checked, which I told you, still if you are having the same issue, then these are the things that you have to take care of. Then you have to come completely medical. It is nothing to do with stress.
Right. Thank you. We have one last question, which I'll take, which is from Mr. Anil Singh. What are the unhealthy ways people cope with stress, and why are they harmful? I think it's an interesting question, because I'm sure you must be facing a lot of people who are dealing with stress in an unhealthy way.
Yes.
Stuff that is not recommended. What could you highlight a few of them, which are people who are gathered here will benefit from?
Yes, definitely. See, I tell you, stress itself is not wrong. I think I am here sitting in front of you because of some amount of stress, because of which I studied. I gave my exam, I passed. It is because of my stress that, oh, my patient is admitted, I cannot take leave and I am on time to the hospital. So these all are good stress. So this is what even my ashram speaks about very highly. There are two types of stress. One is good stress, one is bad stress. If you take stress and you perform excellent in your job, if you take stress, you care for your family, and they get disease and you immediately take them to the hospital, it's a good stress. But if you take stress and decrease your performance in your work, you are very stressed out, you are supposed to present a PPT and you're so stressed out that you are having all anxiety, tremor, and your voice is not coming out, you cannot speak anything, is a bad stress. That time it's an alarming for you that please calm down, you need some tools. Like I tell you, it's like tools means when you go to gym you have all those tools and all, dumbbell and all. Similarly,
Right.
in to decrease the stress, there is some mental tools, among which I have already spoken about two: hoponopono, guided relaxations, and there are many more. So then it's a demand that you do. Now, if you get so much stressed that your BP starts shooting up, if you get so much stressed that you cannot sleep all night, you have to tell yourself, hey, wait, I need to stop. Something is not going correct. The stress which was supposed to be meant to be for my good has turned against me. You have to again sit and speculate among with yourself. What went wrong? How can I cope up with it? I always say stress happens when you are not your best friend. When you are your best friend, you talk to yourself, you understand yourself, you forgive yourself. Half of the stress goes. When you get stressed, when your friend brought a car you could not, for example, then you will say, why I could not do, why I could not do. And you did worse performance in your job. So it is always you have to always keep on questioning yourself. Is it correct for me? Is it not correct for me? And then sometime when you feel that you are very much stressed out from your work, I always request, please take a break. Take a break. Go to the place you love. Go to some good place that can give you good vibes. Rewind yourself. It is just like going to a petrol pump and fueling your car, and again restarting your car in a fresh mode. So whenever you feel stressed, don't let it keep on going. Take a break, fuel yourself with that good petrol, come back and again fight with the society and be the best of all.
Thank you very much. On that note, Dr. Sheetal Goyal, thank you for being here. I'm not going to take too much of your time because I know you need to get back to your patient, and may the best health be with your patient, and all the very best to you. To all of you here, thank you very much for joining us. We've taken quite a few questions to Dr. Sheetal Goyal. The topic was, as you know, was dealing with stress from a neurologist's point of view. I know some of the things that she has said entail meditation and yoga, etc., which normal allopathic doctors don't. They do, of course, do recommend all of that, but she has been a major votary of that, even in the past sessions that she's conducted.
Can I add one thing to it?
Go ahead.
See, I tell you why I am voting so much on meditation is that because you see, I also come from a profession which is quite stressful. Because I planned that I will see few of the numbers, and suddenly, without any notice, without any prior thing, to my personal life also things come up, and I have to prioritize to my patient, and so there are so many things that are happening. But I always tell, when I meditate, I feel I have a rebirth. So it's my personal experience, because of which I vouch so much that please meditate, because it rewinds me like anything. So it's very helpful for me also. So that's why I'm just voting for it.
As somebody who's in the front line of patient care, I'm sure doctors have all the stresses of the world, and especially in a field of like neurology, where you have an increasing number of cases, as Dr. Goyal has had just today. So thank you very much, Dr. Sheetal Goyal, for being here. And thank you to all of you. We will be back once again next Saturday at 5 p.m. with another session of Health Live at Seniors Today. Remember, we are tackling the all-important issue of living wills next Saturday. And do join us for a detailed session. And that apart, follow us on seniorstoday.in. This session, the edited video as well as the takeaways will be on the Seniors Today website on Monday evening, so you can have a look at that. And do note that the Evergreen Club events happen every day. The Seniors Today newsletter can be accessed every morning at 6 a.m. And yeah, that's about it. Enjoy yourselves and have a great weekend. I know some parts of the country is raining a lot, so do take care in the rains, and of course enjoy the weather if you can, if you don't get too drenched, and I hope it's not flooded in your areas. But thank you once again, Dr. Sheetal Goyal, for being here.
Thank you so much for calling me. Yeah. Okay.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.